Okay, today I've got some incredible news for you. By the way, click the subscribe button below if you want to be updated on all of my latest information, my latest news that I cover in the crypto space. I'm a crypto investor. I encourage everyone to at least invest a little bit of money into cryptocurrency just to understand what's going on in this space, just to start learning about it. The best way to do that is just to get your feet wet with a little bit. I do expect Bitcoin to be huge. I am banking on at least a big portion of my portfolio that Bitcoin will ultimately, it's a small portion today, but I believe ultimately it will be the largest portion of my investment portfolio. I fully believe that Bitcoin will make me a billionaire with a B. That is my ultimate goal anyway, and I am here for the ride. And I encourage you to at least start learning about this space, start understanding it, and start investing just a little bit into it. Understanding it is a very risky space, but it has tremendous potential. It's like someone told me over the weekend, sure as heck beats buying lottery tickets, and that is the truth. And the payoff could be equally huge or even bigger than any lottery that exists if you start investing now. I would encourage you to invest small amounts and start learning. But enough about that. Here we go with news of the day. This actually came out a couple of hours ago, a few hours ago. Mastercard will now let you pay with blockchain, but now with Bitcoin. So blockchain is the underlying technology that allowed Bitcoin to basically exist. Bitcoin is built on a blockchain. It was the first blockchain technology that ever existed. Led to the development of Bitcoin. Now this is huge for several reasons. First of all, it gives massive credibility to the technology that creates Bitcoin. The reason they want to use blockchain technology, well, it's efficient. It's inexpensive to use. It's decentralized technology, and it's very safe and extremely secure technology. They're going to use it to process payments, but this part right here, without using Bitcoin, is fascinating. So the question comes up: well, why are they just using Bitcoin? What are they doing? Well, if you come over here in the article, it talks about the first time Mastercard is offering the ability to send money over a blockchain rather than swiping a credit card. After developing its own version of the Bitcoin technology over the past couple of years, meaning they've been doing this for a couple of years, this technology was, I mean, it's still in its infancy, but it was definitely in its infancy a couple of years ago. They announced Friday that they're now opening up its blockchain to certain banks and merchants as an alternative, potentially more efficient method of paying for goods and services. So it goes on to talk about and it's a sign that mainstream adoption of the technology underpinning cryptocurrency is increasing. Mastercard is the second Fortune 500 company this week to begin facilitating blockchain payments. IBM revealed that it's also begun processing payments over its proprietary blockchain between banks in the South Pacific. Now, here's what's fascinating. It goes on to explain that Mastercard is not using an actual currency. They are using dollars, or they're using the local currency, local paper money or government-backed money, whoever's making the payments or whoever's receiving the payments. Whereas IBM is using a cryptocurrency called Stellar, which is created. This is basically an alternative to Bitcoin, but it's a extremely similar technology in a lot of ways. Much more in the fact that they're actually using a digital currency. IBM is actually using a digital currency to process payments, where Mastercard's blockchain is independent of any cryptocurrency, and they're accepting payments instead in the traditional local money. And they go on to say, he goes on to say, we're not using a cryptocurrency and we're not introducing a new cryptocurrency because this is a key part. That introduces other challenges, regulatory, legal challenges. That's it right there. That's the senior vice president at Microsoft Labs. That's the number one reason. My guess is if they could use a single cryptocurrency, whether it was blockchain or Bitcoin or something else. Imagine being able to use Bitcoin, where you don't have to worry about exchange rates from one country to the next. You don't have to worry about exchange fees from one company to the next. It would be far more efficient. It would be far simpler. But they understand that there's a lot of regulatory and legal challenges to be able to do that right now. So this makes total sense. This story back on the 9th of October. So we're talking about, what, 14 days ago. Mastercard CEO attacks Bitcoin, finds solace in government-backed cryptos. This is incredible. Of course he finds solace in government-backed cryptos. This is a large company that currently is trying to stay out of any regulatory trouble or any legal trouble. Right now, they've created this blockchain technology. They're in competition. Their number one competitor is Visa. They're competing against Visa. If they ran into a major snag with large regulatory issues, legal issues or regulatory issues with other governments, then that would give their competitor Visa a massive advantage. However, they've got their own blockchain. As far as we know, they're the first one to the punch. If they can use this blockchain technology to drive some of their internal transfer costs down, then that's ultimately going to help their business grow profits. Yeah, I'm assuming they would prefer to use one single cryptocurrency, whether it was Stellar, Lumens, or whether it was Bitcoin. They would probably rather use one single cryptocurrency like Bitcoin to be able to make all transactions. Since they can't do that because they don't want to run into regulatory issues, of course the CEO has a vested interest to attack Bitcoin. He doesn't want anyone to recommend or require. He doesn't want the demand from his customers to potentially ask for Bitcoin. He would rather just keep a government-backed cryptocurrency if you were going to use one, and that way we don't run into any regulatory issues and our business can run as normal. It's amazing, but if you read between the lines, if you do your research, you can see it for what it is. However, overall, this is incredible news for the cryptocurrency space. This is huge, huge. They're proving the technology. They like the technology. People are loving it. This is one more step to mass adoption of cryptocurrency in general. Definitely, this is another major step in mass adoption at the technology level. But man, do your research, subscribe to my channel, stay tuned. I'm going to be bringing more news to you about this space, what's going on. I'm going to be covering cryptocurrency. I love to talk about this. I love to cover this. I'm going to be covering this from now until this baby goes all the way to the moon. I'm going to go ahead and predict it now. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, I'm going to go ahead and predict it at $100,000. $100,000. I believe it can go far higher than that. But I'm going to go ahead and predict it now. It's going to hit $100,000 in 10 years or less. That is my belief. Maybe I'm crazy, and I don't suggest that you start investing on my advice, but that is absolutely my belief. Have a great day, and God bless.